What's up, everybody? Derek here, and today I am going over the wiring that is in my 3-bedroom house that I have completely gone through, gutted. I'm doing drywall, I just insulated, and we're going to talk about the wiring and go through it, and I'm just going to walk you through how I did my own wiring in this house. In the state of Texas, which is where I'm at, there is a Homestead Exemption Act. So with that being said, most cities in the state of Texas will accept a homeowner to do the actual work. So you can actually be like your own GC in a way. So the state of Texas doesn't have a GC license per se, but you have to be licensed and insured through the state, if that makes sense. So just about anybody can get a GC license if you're insured, but you got to make sure that you pass everything. And that's the cool thing about the state of Texas. Since I own my own 3-bedroom house that I converted, it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath now. There's a utility room right back here, and here's my bird's nest of a mess. I've got all this electrical wire, and I almost failed my inspection. But the cool thing about the inspectors is they want you to do your own work, but they want you to make it to where it's going to be safe and it passes codes for the federal United States nationwide. So the one thing that I almost didn't do was this stove or range wire that's not too long goes right here, because this is the kitchen wall. I had to oversize, or properly size, I guess I should say. This is a 6-gauge wire, and it was the most expensive out of all of these. I know I've got some 8s and some 10s in here, and then of course the 12 too. So it's running to all the rooms, and we got the proper breaker sizes. Mainly 20s for the 120 volt, and then for the 220s, it ranges for what specifications that it's going to be needing. But as you see, I've got GFCIs right in here, because this is going to be my countertop for the kitchen, and I got a sink going in right here, so I got to have it near that water. I've got my range, which I just said, and in this house, I did it as per code. So every 12 feet, within 12 feet, I've got an outlet. And within every 6 feet of a doorway, I've got an outlet. So I'm doing it as per code, and I passed. I almost didn't pass, but as you can see up here above, I've got my striker plates, and if I didn't have those in place, I definitely would not have passed. So I've got those just about everywhere where there's wire entering into the wall. And I made sure that whenever I did drill through my 2x4s, that I was in the center. So if you look up above up here, right there, I'm in the center of the 2x4. I think it's under 1.5 inches. I think it was 1.25. I can't remember off the top of my head because I've already gone through it, and I made sure that I drilled right in the center of every 2x4. So the screws won't go through, so I don't need striker plates everywhere. But, you know, I got my outlets. And one thing I did in this entire house, I've got TV cable in here too. So I wired in TV cable almost everywhere that there's a possibility of having a TV or some kind of entertainment center, to where they're not drilling and running wires on the outside of the house and going straight through the wall. Now here's my utility room. I've got a GFCI right here, because this is the washing machine right here within this vicinity. So I got it that close to the water. We got our dryer. I got it properly sized. And then we've got our water heater right here. So water heater. So this becomes the utility room for the most part. We got a new furnace. That's a train. And we got it already ran and wired and all of that stuff. So they just got to come do the finish out on this thing. And ceiling fans in just about every room. And this is kind of where I'm envisioning where the entertainment center will go, because I've got TV cable right here. And this little nook, this is a bathroom. As you see, the bathtub, utility room, it kind of makes a little pocket right here. So I'm going to see if that can be kind of the entertainment center. So we're kind of standing in the living room right now. The kitchen wall's back there. So it kind of makes an L. As you come in the front door, ooh, it's bright out there. You come in the front door, you come down here, it makes an L. So the bedrooms, which are back in here, are kind of off put from the house, so there's kind of some privacy. If people are staying awake, they won't be bothering everybody as much. Now, as you can see on my actual junction boxes, as you come in the house here, I've got them labeled. I labeled just about everything in this house with a Sharpie. That way I know what's what and what's running where. It just makes it easier for me. So I've got the exterior lights. So I've got 2 exterior lights, and I've got a exterior GFCI that I'm going to put down here. So in case anybody wants to run Christmas lights, or I want to, or whatever. And so we got outlet, power, and then I'm going to have some recessed can lights that I got from Amazon that are the clamp-on style for remodels. So they're going to go right in here. I'm going to have maybe 1 or 2 or 3. I'm not completely sure yet. And then as we come into the bathroom, it's pretty basic, pretty simple. We got our vanity here. We got, oh, that's a bad cut, but that is our exhaust. And then we've got our other box here. And the only place that I absolutely did this in the entire house where I ran the outlet off that box to the outside. So it's actually off the bathroom, but it's not in the bathroom. And we got our GFCI here, and we got power, outlets, fan, vanity. So it's all wired up correctly, and it's basically the same for the entire house. So as you see in here, power, fan, outlet. And then we've got them properly spaced, and I've got another TV cable right over there. So the master bed, we're kind of standing where it's going to be. And then as you come into the bathroom here, we've got more junction boxes. I'm going to have some recessed lights. So the closet, which is this right here, I'm going to put a recessed light in here, and then one straight above me here in this kind of hallway almost before you actually get into the actual bathroom. So it'll turn on right here, so it'll light up this whole area. And then also my power for my GFCI, which is going to be right there, and then our vanity is going to be right here. So really no other plugs in here, but the same as it goes. We got our fan, power, GFCI for the closet. That's running to this outlet over to here. So we're pulling our power from this one. And then every 12 foot, we got our outlets again, and it's going to be the same for every room. If it's near a water source, I'm going to have a GFCI. And then here's ours again, and outlet, power. I don't think that one's not labeled, so we know that's a fan. Process elimination there. It's a little bit smaller room than the other one. We got TV cable over in that corner. And then it's exactly just the same thing in here. TV cables right over here in this corner on the other side of the couch. Got everything labeled once again. And that's pretty much the basics of how I wired up this house. And this is going to be the living room and everything else. Got it all labeled up too. And then outlets all behind the sheetrock going down this wall too. So that's the basics. Pretty standard, just kind of cookie cutter for every room. Let's go look at the panel. All right, here's the only spot in the entire house that I did not do the work. I had this 200 amp panel upgrade installed by an electric company. Whenever I first was getting into this house, this is the first thing that I absolutely started with. It was not to code, and the wires coming in were all sketchy and cracked. So I had them install this. It cost me $3,000 to put in that panel upgrade and to put a new riser on it. And then of course the electrical company put a new service drop. You know, since they're feeding us the wire, I didn't have to pay for that either. But also I got my TV cable running out here. So here's where they're all landing. And we've got the old TV box, but the new service meter is right there. And then I've got to start putting those wires through here and start hooking them up, the 2-pole and the single poles down through here, and organize it. But it, you know, looks pretty good. And then back here is where our heating and air is our AC unit. So here's our GFCI for the AC, so they can work back here, and in case I need to run Christmas lights, or I need to, or anybody else can run them from here. So as you see, it's green lit, so it's powered up. And they can use that as per code to charge up our AC lines that are right here. And then I've got the breaker box for the AC, the fuse. And that is basically it for the entire house. Well guys, I just wanted to show you what I did for my own house and how cool it is to own your own house and to be able to do the work all on your own as long as it's inspected and done correctly. They're going to pass it. And so along the lines, if you ever decide to sell, you pull the correct permits, you sign in with the cities, you go through all the proper pathways that you need to do to get things done properly. And you can do your own house as if you're your own GC and add equity. And later on, you can sell your house if you decide to. And you have no issues, no problems, no permit problems come up. But anyways, guys, I just want to show you how I rewired my house and almost failed, but I didn't. But anyways, thanks for watching, you guys, and subscribe if you haven't already. Like this video if you liked it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.